Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well-being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect.
I'm salty about health. Yes, I'm salty for you. Bringing health facts to you. Do.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 16. We are going to talk about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is actually pretty relevant to when we are going to release this episode. We will release this episode right before Halloween. So for all of you celebrating Halloween with lots of candy and other sugar-filled goodness, you will be sorely disappointed by this in our connection with sugar and the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Yay. I know you're thinking, when are these two chicks going to stop ragging on sugar? Mostly Mom, but it's fine. Oh, but we'll also be telling you about a supplement that can help, that people claim helps. Can I just call it, like, I'm going to call NAFLD, NAFLD? Is that bad?
Yeah, you can just say NAFLD.
So here into non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases now, NAFLD. So we can keep this going. So we don't think you're going to be disappointed with this episode, but it may just be kind of a downer for your Halloween celebration. Sorry, that's how Mom rolls.
Well, I don't see it as bad news. I look at it as, knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do with what you gain from this episode is just power for you to make a different choice in your health journey or confirm what you are doing already, and that is leading you down the right path. That's for you. We're all individuals.
And we're all health detectives. We need like a jingle for that.
Yes, we do.
Be your own health detective. Ba, ba, ba.
Do.
Let me start by defining what non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is. So, NAFLD is a condition in which excess fat is stored in the liver. This buildup of fat is not caused by heavy alcohol use. When heavy alcohol use causes fat to build up in the liver, the condition is called alcoholic liver disease. We are not going to be talking about alcoholic liver disease today.
But okay, so does it make like a different type of fat buildup? Because I feel like fat is fat, right? Like,
no, but it's just the source.
Okay. But
yeah, I would say no, it's just the source, and it's two different approaches. You can tell people to stop eating sugar, but try to tell an alcoholic to stop drinking could be a little harder, maybe more therapy, but maybe not. Sugar is just as addicting.
Okay,
we're all addicted to something.
Yeah.
It could be shopping. It could be alcohol. It could be sugar.
Yeah.
Shoes, whatever. So this is,
Okay.
But we're just not going to talk about the, alcoholic fatty liver.
Okay. So just the alcoholic one, you just need to approach it differently because you just, the mindset of the person is different and whatever. So like to help them get better, there's a different approach than helping people get better who are not, consuming as much alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I'm not an expert in alcoholism. So neither am I in people who eat too much sugar, but I feel more comfortable talking about people who eat too much sugar than drink too much.
Okay.
So there are two types of NAFLD. One is called simple fatty liver, and the other is called non-alcoholic, what is that? Steatohepatitis. Now it depends, who you were listening
AKA
to.
NASH.
Yes. So we'll just call that NASH.
I like it. Oh, so what are the differences between them? Tell me more.
So for simple fatty liver disease, it is normal for the liver to contain fat. But if more than 5 to 10% of the liver's weight is fat, it is called a fatty liver. So there is excess fat in the liver, but little or no inflammation or liver cell damage. It typically does not progress to cause liver damage or complications, and between 30 to 40% of adults in the United States have this form of NAFLD. Now I say it typically doesn't, and this is what I get when I do my research, but there's always someone saying, "Oh, my bad, we were wrong." So
we were wrong. Wow. So I guess you'll talk about symptoms?
Yeah, eventually. Okay. So the NASH is a form in which you have hepatitis, which is inflammation of the liver, and liver cell damage, in addition to fat in your liver. So inflammation and liver cell damage can cause fibrosis or scarring of the liver. NASH may lead to cirrhosis or liver cancer. And between 3 to 12% of adults in the United States have this form of NAFLD.
So, and this is just me, there is just hepatitis, right? Where that you get like a shot for.
Hep C, Hep B.
Yeah, but that is not
the virus that goes through the liver, yeah.
Oh, but it does attack your liver. So having hepatitis is like your liver is getting attacked.
That's another episode, if we're going to talk about.
No, I know. I just wanted to clarify
how people get that, because it can be transmitted in a lot of ways.
Okay. I thought that was the only way to get hepatitis. So that's all. Okay. So who is most likely to develop NAFLD?
Well, it tends to develop in people who are overweight or obese or have diabetes, high cholesterol, and high triglycerides. Rapid weight loss and poor eating habits also may lead to NAFLD. I do know people who are thin but eat a lot of sugar with NAFLD. You do too. I just won't mention their name here. It can affect people of any age, including children. And one interesting fact is that Asian Americans are more likely than people of other racial or ethnic groups to develop NAFLD when their weight is within normal range.
Huh, that's really interesting. So, okay, yay. So this is what I wanted to know. What are the symptoms? Because we're all going to like WebMD right now. We're going to be like, okay, do I have all the symptoms to everything ever and get paranoid? So let's hear it.
Yes. Well, actually, both NAFLD and alcoholic fatty liver disease are usually silent diseases with few or no symptoms.
Oh, good. Yay.
But when symptoms do occur, they may include fatigue, weakness, weight loss, and loss of appetite, nausea, abdominal pain, spider-like blood vessels, yellowing of the skin and eyes, so that would be jaundice, itching, fluid buildup, and swelling of the legs and abdomen, and mental confusion. Well, we discussed this in other episodes. I mean, all the symptoms are the same for every disease almost.
It's like our bodies are like children. It just cries if something's wrong. And you're like, cool. I don't know if that means you're hungry, if you need to have your diaper changed, if you're tired, and it's just like,
That it is nice when children can talk instead of just screaming. And then yes, I have an ear infection.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Well, great. So now that everyone, including me, thinks they have NAFLD, what can our listeners do to avoid or turn it around?
Well, that's the good news. There are lots of ways, according to the experts, to tweak your diet to reverse NAFLD. We are just going to be talking about a few. And remember, we're not doctors, and I'm just pilfering the information and research out there and relaying it to you. So first, let's hear what Dr. Mark Hyman has to say. And many of you have probably seen him on his PBS specials. There is a link to his website in the show notes. And this information comes from his book, The Blood Sugar Solution.
Ooh, I'll have to watch him because I think on PBS I just watched like Rick Steves and the Happy Trees guy.
No, I haven't seen the Happy Trees guy.
I haven't seen him in a while, but Bob Ross, right?
Oh, the painter.
The painter, yeah.
Oh, yes,
He
yes,
paints
yes.
Happy Trees.
Oh, I didn't know that's what they called it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's what I call him. But he's just like, oh, we're just gonna make a little happy tree, and he like does one brush stroke, and it's just like this beautiful, epic painting. And I was like, what? So
yes, he is amazing.
Cool.
So
Dr. Mark Hyman, let's go. Sorry.
Yeah. So high fructose corn syrup and cane sugar are not biochemically identical or processed the same way by the body. High fructose corn syrup is an industrial food product and far from natural. After being processed from corn stalks, it becomes a compound that is sweeter and cheaper than cane sugar. Fructose goes right to the liver and triggers lipogenesis, which is the production of fats like triglycerides and cholesterol, which lead to a major cause of liver damage called fatty liver, affecting 70 million people. It leads to increased metabolic disturbances that drive increases in appetite, weight gain, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, dementia, and more. Note that naturally occurring fructose in fruit is part of a complex web of nutrients and fiber and doesn't exhibit the same biological effects as the high fructose found in high fructose corn syrup. Now, that being said, fructose is the one sugar that bypasses everything and goes straight to your liver to be processed.
Huh. But
and sucrose is table sugar, and they make that out of glucose, half fructose. You can buy glucose syrup on the internet, which is just glucose.
And is glucose?
That comes from sugar. Where does that come from? I want to say bamboo. That's not it. But anyway, cane. Yeah.
That's cane sugar?
Cane sugar. Yeah.
Okay.
And so your body there you go. Your body processes that a totally different way than it does fructose.
Okay. Huh. And I guess, again, that's why Mom and I always stress a whole food diet. Because like you said, the fruit has all the complex nutrients and fibers and everything that are there to help with the digestion as much as they can. So Mother Nature knows best. And package it like the whole food.
And whole food has the enzymes, which we've talked about before, to break down and do things in your body and help your body out. I mean, it is perfectly packaged. Of course, we were talking about organic, and when you genetically modify something, then you're blocking certain pathways and usually amino acids to not uptake certain chemicals, so it doesn't kill the plant but kills everything else. So I mean, that's a whole different
that's a whole
episode, and it's probably too deep for us to talk about. So now let me bring in a little controversy.
Done. Okay.
You forgot the last done. I did read a book called Perfect Health Diet, Regain Health and Lose Weight by Eating the Way You Were Meant to Eat. And this is by, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Jaminet.
That's what I would go with.
Yeah. Yes, I do apologize. But I think there's a link to that book too. And he wrote it with his wife, So Ching Jaminet, and they're both okay. So they are both PhDs. And now the book is written by two PhDs, probably not a casual read for many. That's all I'll say. And the authors are anti-fructose of any kind, pretty much. I do know where I work, if someone comes in and they have cancer, the doctor tells them no fruit, no sugar, no nothing of any kind like that. So, this is what they have to say about fructose, because I know we have a lot of people who love fruit, and I think it is part of a healthy diet. But this is what they have to say. and the book is actually interesting. But again, let me just start. So, fructose has no structural role in the human body. The digestive tract shunts fructose to the liver via the portal vein, and at the levels of fructose contained in natural foods, virtually 100% is absorbed on the first pass through the liver. Essentially, no fructose reaches the general circulation. In the liver, fructose is converted to glucose, glycogen, lactate, and fat. It's telling that the first thing the body does with fructose is convert it to something else. He does go on to say there are a few instances where fruit benefits the body. One is for athletes, and the other is when eaten with starches, it seems to improve the glycemic response. And he says that you should not have more than one piece of fruit with a meal. So he's saying if you eat it with starches and you're a diabetic, then it helps with that also. But and for athletes, because they carb load before, and that
I was gonna say, like, that's
because all the glycogen then is stored right there in the liver, and they've got it for a certain amount of hours. So that's what they use when they're running, and they exhaust that first.
People way back when that were like hunter-gatherers running away from predators and stuff, that would make sense why you would eat fruit.
Yeah,
right? Because so it's just most people are more sedentary now just with our jobs. So it's changed. But I think the original intention was to give us like fast energy, it seems like.
Yeah, and if you're not exercising after eating fruit or something like that, where you're actually using it, it is stored again in the liver right away. Okay. So that can be an issue for a lot of people.
Okay, so I think I can see where he's coming from, but I would expand upon. I don't know. Expand upon it a little bit.
The book had plenty to say about it.
I'm sure it did.
But also fruit, if you look at the Ayurvedic way of eating, fruit is a summertime or spring, summer, fall, depending on what kinds of fruits. So it's not an all year round thing.
Yeah.
So in Ayurvedic medicine, they have the, like the 3-season diet or something like that. And you eat according to the season. You wouldn't be doing fruit really in the winter because it wasn't around. I mean, they do can it, but see what I'm saying? So
it's that makes sense.
Kind of what your body needs. It's like, you go out and the earth is producing what you need at the time of year that you need it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So he does have an interesting take on fruit. And his book is full of graphs and stats. So I think your husband would really enjoy reading it.
Yes, he would.
Just for that alone. I mean, because they try to back up everything with, a graph and statistics.
No, he'd really like that.
Yes. And he's a PhD, so he's, could totally, probably really, really like the book.
Oh my gosh.
So Dr. Jockers has this to say about NAFLD: a diet heavy in processed foods and refined carbohydrates can overload the liver and lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. A recent study found that sugar is a major offender when it comes to fatty liver disease. Diets high in sugar, from sucrose and high fructose corn syrup, increase the risk of NAFLD and NASH. And see, he's saying sucrose because remember, sucrose is again made from glucose and fructose. So it's your table sugar. And he goes on to say consuming refined sugars along with grains and any foods that are easily metabolized into sugar, which are high glycemic foods, causes a surge of blood glucose and large release of insulin. Insulin resistance is the most consistent underlying factor of NAFLD. Processed foods and oils are highly inflammatory and create extra acidity in the tissues. Excess amounts of omega-6 fatty acids found in refined vegetable oils can promote the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay. And that's what you have to watch out for, because all these chips people eat and everything, we get plenty of omega-6 from all the snack food people eat. It's the omega-3 that you're looking for. And if you ever go to the breakdown of that on the internet, literally, and vegetables actually have omega-6 and omega-3 in them too.
Interesting.
Yeah, everything does. So we get so, even in nuts, the omega-6 content in nuts can be, 40 times higher than the omega-3. You get like 2,000, and then you have like 40 for the omega-3 and like the 2,000 for the omega-6. So nature provides it that way. A lot of times there are some vegetables that are really cool. And macadamia nuts have, I think, the closest to you want a balance, and macadamia nuts do have a great balance ratio for that. But the problem is when we eat all this snack food, we're getting omega-6s. And so we have and our bodies need omega-6, but we end up eating way too much. It's out of whack.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So from all that, I'm hearing that the standard American diet basically contributes to NAFLD. And it definitely seems like we have high fructose corn syrup in most everything. And that could be a whole, that could be like a not really a conspiracy episode, but we can talk about all the funding that goes into that, we think. But
it's in everything.
It's in everything. It's even in ketchup, which is funny because it's fun to talk to people from outside of the US and they're just like, why does that have sugar in it? It's like, I don't know. I can't tell you a good
and even salsa has, you have to look at the back and read the labels.
Salsa, now I just look for marinara sauce from Italy because I'm paranoid about tomatoes now. And I still like spaghetti. So now I get it from Italy to make sure that they've been de-skinned and stuff. But most of the US made ones do have sugar in them. And, fast food is very prevalent here too.
Riddled with high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, absolutely. The fries, the buns, obviously the soda, I think. Unless you get like the weird specialty sodas that are like, oh, we're made with like real sugar or cane sugar or whatever. That's high fructose corn syrup.
Read your labels.
Yeah. And I even remember there's a movie about a guy who just ate fast food for, was that Super Size Me?
That's one of like 2 or 3 that were made. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We had to watch it in health class when I was in high school. I don't know if anybody else did, and he had to eat fast food every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the thing was too, like, I don't even think, probably after they made this movie, I think the fast food restaurants got rid of this option. But if they asked like, oh, would you like to supersize that today? He would have to say yes. So yeah, he got fatty liver disease and a whole lot of other health issues. So what can we do to combat this? Because it's this prevalent disease, because it's everywhere, at least in America.
Yes. And so according to Dr. Jocker's website, an anti-inflammatory diet, including whole, unprocessed foods, is best. So try to get clean protein, organic vegetables and fruits, and healthy fats. Clean protein sources are grass-fed meats, pasture-raised organic chicken, and eggs and wild caught fish. Abundant amounts of low carbohydrate, colorful vegetables, and small amounts of low glycemic fruits should be included in a liver healthy diet. Low carbohydrate vegetables include cruciferous vegetables, leeks, shallots, cucumbers, asparagus, and leafy greens, to name a few. Berries, grapefruits, limes, lemons, and Granny Smith apples are all low glycemic fruits. And vegetables and fruits are high in anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and phytonutrients, which are great for liver health. So healthy fats are important and are found in coconut, olives, avocados, grass-fed butter, and ghee. Studies also show that coffee can be amazing for liver health. Coffee has the protective effect against the development of cirrhosis of the liver. Now, that's a different study. And also, if you are caffeine sensitive, then that would not be for you.
Yeah, but all the coffee lovers out there were just like, heck yeah, when you said that.
Yes.
So,
and I'm sure there's a limit to how much coffee you should drink before it turns
that's true. And
towards
probably like
not
the
that
different
healthy
types too. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
my husband's brother drinks like, it's, I don't know, he can only find it online, and it's just like this super, super, super caffeinated, just black death. I'm pretty sure that's like the name of it too.
Oh my gosh, that may not be beneficial for you, at least after one cup, but and that could cause side effects, but you know.
But I mean, we did a whole thing on essential oils and everything too, but we love herbs. So are there any herbs that can help the liver?
Yeah, bitter herbs are excellent for liver health. So remember, bitter is good for the liver. Bitters aid the body's detoxification process. Milk thistle, ginger, dandelion root, cilantro, garlic, and
Yay.
turmeric are all great for liver health. Turmeric has been shown to improve liver function, having both protective and regenerative properties. And just remember, that's really hard for your body to uptake turmeric.
Oh, okay.
So that's why
side note, my roommate and I would like you to bring us more of the delicious turmeric tea.
Oh yeah, isn't that great?
It's really great.
Turmeric. And you should do a shout out. That is what is that? Who
Is
makes
that Newman's Own?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Newman's Own. It is, you can get it on Amazon, and it's organic and it has the best flavor.
It's so good because you're like, ew, turmeric, like no way, I'm only gonna mix that with stuff. But try the tea. Just try it. It's so delicious by itself.
Yeah, we'll have to add a link to that on Amazon because it really is good and it's organic. So
exactly. Hey. Okay, so at the very beginning, we also talked about a supplement that claims to really help NAFLD. So what is that?
Yes. Okay, that would be choline. This is what the two PhDs, Geminate, have to say about it in their book we mentioned earlier. Choline prevents fatty liver. Choline supplementation rapidly cures fatty liver disease. In a mere 12 days, supplemental choline can reduce liver fat from 15 to 4%.
Whoa, that is huge. And remember, we're not listeners. This is just like research that they did. So again, be your own health detective. Dun dun dun. And it doesn't work the same for everybody. Cool. Okay.
That, and I know we're doing a disclaimer there because we want you to eat right. We don't want you to sit there and go, oh great, now I can just eat sugar all day long and take choline. Not a good idea because sugar has a lot of effects on the body.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually, with everything going on with the health nowadays and the pandemic, they say that insulin resistance is one of the things people really need to look out for.
Oh yeah. 'Cause locked up
it-
at home, you're like, I'm gonna
well, yeah,
sit down and eat my comfort food. Thanks.
yeah,
Bye.
yes. But that causes a lot more diseases, insulin resistance in your body. And also, you can be affected by, the pandemic much more with not having your insulin in control. Again, I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
they're finding that insulin resistance it's just a key. So you want to definitely not have insulin resistance. And people can get their blood sugars checked. They can buy the little blood sugar check kits. That would be another, I think, episode like we did on giving blood.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting if people knew what their blood sugar was 12 hours after they ate a high carb dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Starches, and find out if they do have insulin resistance.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that research was also backed up by Chris Masterjohn. And though I do follow him, he is usually so detailed for me. So yeah, he doesn't talk down to, when they teach you to write, if you're going to journalism school, I think it's supposed to be a 7th grade level.
Seriously? They straight out tell you that?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was, of course, 30 years ago for me.
That's funny. No, it's still accurate. Sometimes I look at headlines and stuff and I kind of make fun of it now. I'm not going to make fun of it because they're doing it purposely. I'm like, why are they writing like a child? Because they're supposed to. Okay.
Yeah. But who knows? That was 30 years ago. But anyway, he's definitely very technical. But so Stephen, and we're going to try to say his last name. What is it?
Guyanet?
Yeah.
Or again, if he's French, it would just be like Guy. They don't use half the letters.
So anyway, he's of Whole Health Source Nutrition and Health Science. And he read Chris Masterjohn's articles that he published.
Okay.
Because he published 2 of them. And he wrote, Chris Masterjohn wrote on NAFLD and NASH. And so this guy just kind of pulled his research. And he said that choline is an essential nutrient that's required for the transport of fat out of the liver. So NAFLD can be caused and cured simply by removing or adding dietary choline. And it appears to be dominant over other dietary factors. Apparently, certain researchers have been aware of this for some time, but it hasn't entered into the mainstream consciousness. Again, that's, the research is out there. What you do with it, of course, you need to look it up yourself.
Yeah, I think we can't stress that enough. So Mom has put all the sites that she's been talking about in the show notes. And if you're going to make any sort of major change, obviously talk to your doctor. And I just can't stress the importance of a whole food diet. I think that's something just so simple that you can do. And eating less processed food and less sugar is always a healthy lifestyle approach. I think most doctors would be like, yeah, that's a good idea for you. Like, unless you have some crazy thing, like, I don't know, but I think most people agree, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we don't want to do it, but it's a good idea. So we also have some foods that are naturally high in choline. So if you want to get more of those into your diet, if you're working on that, a very good source is eggs, but some people like Mom and I can't always do eggs, but that's one. Another one, shrimps, scallops, and cod. So I'm jamming to that. Collard greens, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, Swiss chard, cauliflower, asparagus, spinach, chicken, turkey, tuna, salmon, beef. I feel like I named all the meat. Sardines, green peas, cabbage, shiitake mushrooms, ew, green beans,
mushrooms,
bok choy, crimini mushrooms, whatever the heck that is.
Cremini mushrooms.
Cremini.
Yum.
Don't
you like portobello mushrooms?
No, I don't like mushrooms.
Any?
No.
Really? Pickle?
I like
Nothing.
some truffle oil on my bad for me fries. That's summer squash, miso, and tomatoes. Obviously, not an exhaustive list. So you can always Google foods high in choline, but this just gives you a head start. And then if you're vegan, look into that. Though I feel like there were a lot of vegetables that came up. So that'll also help. But there's also, a lot more nuts and some seeds.
Yeah. So hopefully we struck the right notes for our listeners today, and left them with something to think about anyway. Again, as Dalaney stresses, this, be your own health detective.
Do 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 do.
And don't make any changes without talking to your doctor.
Hey, and on that note, have fun tomorrow on Halloween. And
Woohoo!
Sorry if you already bought all the candy. Make you feel bad.
Give it to all the kids.
Oh my gosh. They're young. They'll work it off now.
Yeah, really.
If anyone's trick-or-treating, that's like a whole nother interesting.
Hey, they're coming up with really interesting ways. They have they get PCV or something, and they make it down.
There's like a tube. You
Yeah.
throw it at them.
Tube.
I mean, it's all.
I think it'd be kind of fun throwing it at them.
Oh my gosh. It's just slingshot it.
I'll do that.
Oh my gosh. I want to do that. Yes.
Yeah, the young boys will be like, cool, and they'll act like, it's baseball. It could be the girls too. I shouldn't say that. I played softball growing up, so.
Boom. Mom was catcher. What?
That's right. Woohoo.
Okay. Anyways, have fun with your candy. Sorry if we ruined it. Bye. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabouthealth@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabouthealth.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach, and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule. And you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.